All right. Anyway, let's move to the next topic. Excuse me. Yeah, okay. We have an upcoming protest, national protest. So I said earlier, I don't know who actually is organizing or who are those people organizing this protest. Well, I think I've been following recently I started following him when this issue of protest came up. Usually I don't follow him because I have issue with his way of politics and reporting. I see him as corrupt journalist as well, as far as I'm concerned. Um, but that's the topic for another day. So I have reposted it. I've kept reposting the post for the protest, the notice for the protest. Barrister, this protest is coming up on the first day of August. Um, what do you think about this project? How do you think it is? How viable do you think it is or will be? A sort of. Do you see it as something that will be successful? Do you see that something that will be just a one-day thing or something that will eventually spiral into spontaneous and stretchy kind of event? What can you say about this protest?
What I can say about the protest is that it's difficult to gauge the level of organization of this protest. We have heard of it. We don't know the details. We are not even sure of who is organizing and how they are organizing it. We just heard, like other people, that uh, there should be protest from August. Now, I would have expected that the organizers would be more thorough. Nigeria, we have reached a stage where you can get the phone numbers of virtually everybody. Many establishments like the NBA, they send bulk text messages to their members in their thousands. People should be able to send personal text messages to people, explain the rationale for a protest and appeal to them to join. That will be a better way of organizing. The only thing we hear is protest, protest, protest. Now, you have to take into account that the government and the security agencies have been moving in the past 2 weeks on this issue of protest. They have become extremely proactive. I heard the government come out to say that the protest movement is being spearheaded by the obedient movement. You see, they have now turned it into politics as opposition versus government and people who want to drive them out of government. The government always does that so that it will get a higher moral ground to crush anything like that. They have already given it a bad name. That I read today that the government was saying, wait for Tinubu in 2027. If you are not fed up with him, wait and vote him out. Don't come and cause chaos and trouble in the name of protest. So you can see the shape that the government is already taking. If they identify who is who, I don't even know whether some of those people are already arrested. But here in Kaduna, I have seen evidence that security apparatus has been beefed up and is preparing to. I've also seen comments like in the north here, some imams and other Muslim leaders are already telling them that this thing is not our matter. Don't come out. Don't come out to. They are telling their followers that this thing is not our affair. So they are calling on their followers not to join. I've seen a group from the southeast saying that Igbo should not join. So you see, Nigeria is a complex situation. If you do not organize something well, there's bound to be all these things. In the southeast, they are openly saying that no Igbo man should participate in the rally, in the protest, or whatever. At the end of the day, what I foresee will happen, there will be protests here and there, particularly in Lagos axis, where there's more enlightenment and where people are virtually in urban setting. But it will not be a nationwide issue, and it will not threaten the government. I'm just projecting what I see from what is on the ground, the way the organization has gone, and the way the government is reacting to it. Possibly there will be pockets of protest here and there, but I don't see it as something massive that will override the government.
Yeah, I think I share the same opinion with you because, as I said, we've talked about this issue of protest earlier. Um, Even though you and I had a less kind of a disagreement on the principle of revolution, the principle to the success that can lead to the success of a revolution, you and I differ on that.
Let me just chip in before you continue. And
Yes.
don't forget, we don't. Who is the face of the protest? Whom people will rally behind? With nobody knows. There must be a figure. There must be a face that inspire people to follow, to rally around. As of now, we don't know.
Yeah, but I think, but Showore is the one because I've been, like I said, most of this whatever it has been coming from him. So far, is the biggest figure that I've seen associated to that, and his platform is really pushing this. I think he's the one, is the arrowhead of this whole thing. I think so. I'm not sure.
Showore does not have the capacity or the integrity
That is
to
it. That's the
project
point.
a national protest in Nigeria. So
That's
I will not follow him. I don't trust him. He doesn't have integrity. He is
that's
a greedy person. He is an unreasonable fellow. So he will not inspire Nigerians to follow him. As simple as that.
So, Barrister, when do you think Nigeria is, or don't you think Nigeria is overripe for? Look, Kenya is still, look, do you know? I don't know if you still notice that Kenya, the protest is still on and it's even getting more intense and more violent. Did you notice that? That they are still insisting, these boys, the youths are not leaving the streets. They are still insisting that the man resign, even when the man has tried to appease them in different angle, rightfully so. They are still insisting that no, we are done with you. You have to go. So when is Nigeria? When will Nigerians actually say to? I don't get it. When will Nigeria actually start crying? Because we've been flawed with serious whips that have caused us serious bruises and giving us scare on giving us scars on our skin. Yet we have not even tried to cry. When will Nigerians start crying?
And I will give you the same answer that I always give you, that we are getting to that point in Nigeria. Don't forget, Nigerians have never been subjected to the kind of hardship that they have been subjected in the past 2 years. Just 2 years. There were hardship before, but the level they have sunk in the hardship has been most prominent in the past 2 years. Agitation and voices are rising up against the government. All this will culminate, if things continue this way, in even a revolution, if things continue. But to pinpoint when that will happen, to say in the next 1 year or 2 years, is difficult to say because of Nigeria's complex nature. But we can say with 100% assurance that we are on our way to that.
Anyway, thank you for that. As we round up, honestly, it's so sad. Nigerians, it's so sad. We are in a very, very bad situation. I think it's time and it's long overdue for us to actually hold our leaders to account. It is time for them to start accounting for their stewardship to us. Honestly, it is time for us to take the bull by the horn. It is time for us to take our destinies in our hands. It is time for us to call a spade a spade. It is time for us to start crying. This is the time. You cannot be flogged, consistently flogged, and you are feeling this pain, intense pain, severe pain, yet not able to cry. You want to cry, but you are resisting the tears from rolling down your cheeks. When will you cry? Remember, cry. When you cry, sometimes it eases you. Sometimes cry can be at least a solution, a temporary solution to your problem. If you have cried before, you notice that when you cry, after you have cried, remember you feel hot. Somebody hurt you or something happened. And after you cry, or even while you are crying, and you are done crying, you feel a level of relief. And at that point, even though you were weak when you were crying, you suddenly become strong. You feel strengthened. You feel strong. You feel courageous to take a decisive step or decisive action. That is what cry does. Cry helps sometimes. So when, as Nigerians that we are, when do we start crying? It is important we begin to cry because we are really, really pained. We are passing through agony. So it is not out of place if we begin to cry. This is the time that we will start crying, I will begin to cry. And that brings us to the end of this show. Once again, my name is JIBRIN, and this is JIBRIN Angle coming to you on Oweleke TV. And we've been having a very robust conversation and discussion with Barrister Austin Manta, a very senior lawyer, a legal analyst, and a public affairs analyst. And he has really done justice to the topics of the day. Thank you so much, Barrister Austin Manta.
Thank you. It's always my pleasure.
All right, viewers, see you again next time. God bless you.